Welcome to The Good Work, a podcast and video series that follows The Event Company, an event design company that specializes in corporate, nonprofit, and social events. Our passion lies in creating one-of-a-kind events that share the good work of organizations we are fortunate to collaborate with. Tune in for conversations with leaders of these great groups, our best advice for your next event, and some behind-the-scenes moments. Now, let us show you the good work. In this week's episode of The Good Work, our dear friend Abby Bischoff will be joining Addie in the office. Abby is the executive director at the Stockyards Ag Experience here in Sioux Falls. Addie and Abby will talk through their fun past working together, nonprofit work, and even what it's like being female leaders in our community. Please welcome to today's podcast, Abby Bischoff. Welcome to this week's episode of The Good Work. We have Abby Bischoff here.
Hi, Addie.
Look at you all like, ah!
Good posture. It's a vodcast. You got to keep it.
Abby and Addie, or Abby and Addie Show.
Addie and Abby Show.
What's the posture thing? You just said good.
Just got to keep good posture.
Because people are watching us. We're not just on iTunes. People are watching us.
From around the world.
I'm so glad that, Budapest. We're just talking about this.
We've got Hi to our friends in Budapest.
What are they? What's Budapest language?
I'm not sure.
I should look that up. Budapestian?
I bet that's it. That's it.
Thank you for being here. We have known each other a long time. So we're going to talk a lot about what we've done, riding on golf carts at Ribfest.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, Ribfest doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, because it moved. So it was there for a long time at the
Premier Center.
Yeah.
Well, at the arena at that time. Yep.
And then it moved out to the fairgrounds, right?
Yep, that's right.
How long were you over at the SMG?
I was the marketing director at the arena for 6 years.
Do you want to hear something? Why I thought of you the other day? Actually, Rick Huffman called me. Rick, who does all the PR marketing or the PR side of things for their Premier Center, called me this weekend because we had an event, and your name came up as Abby Bischoff. I haven't switched it over.
I know,
I just know that it's him.
I still will sometimes see that number, like that cell phone number that I had there, which was like one of those giant Palm cell phones that I had. That was my work cell phone there.
So funny.
And I think Rick sometimes will get or I'll get a text message from somebody that'll be like, whoops, just texted somebody named Rick something for you. And I'll be like, you have not reached out to me in a while. I have not been at the arena since
funny. 2011. That's a long time.
Yeah.
How many years did you do Ribfest out there?
6. Well, the event I think was there, let's see. I was there around the 12th, 13th year of Ribfest. I think is probably...
Yeah, I think I remember being there the 13th-ish or so.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a little... I can't remember.
And then the city changed the management contract when the Premier Center was getting built. And so when that management contract happened, they moved it out to the fairgrounds. So I think it probably existed at the fairgrounds for 3 or 4 years before it went away.
That was big.
It was huge.
I am not a rib person either. At all.
My favorite was, I think it was my first year planning Ribfest, because that was one of my main duties at SMG was planning Ribfest. And the first year, Joan Jett played, and she's a vegetarian. Oh, and I was like, welcome to this meat festival, Joan Jett.
So funny.
But we had 20,000 people there that night.
That's crazy.
Insane. Yeah. It was a great little event. It had definitely had its niche. I always felt like it was the redheaded stepchild compared to Jazz Fest. Everybody loved Jazz Fest. It was free, and it was in a park, and we were in a parking lot, and you had to pay $5 to get in. But
that's so funny.
But the people that came absolutely loved it. And
and I was at the Argus Leader then, so I was the marketing director there. So that's how we kind of connected. And we had one special night out there, and then we did the kids thing on Sioux Falls Moms SiouxFallsMoms.com on Sunday.
Oh my gosh!
So we were doing all that stuff, and it was like a free day. It was free Sunday, so you had boatloads of kids coming out. It was nightmare city, but it was fun. It was awesome.
Yes, as a person with no children, children days are my favorite. I'm like, how do you do it?
One of my favorite Ribfest were when the Gin Blossoms were there.
Yeah.
They actually tweeted me and still follow me to this day. I mean, I'm not that interesting, but I'm like, you guys must not have
You are not getting much from me on Twitter, but thank you.
Thank you. But we had so much fun.
Yeah, it was a fun event. It was always... It was, I mean, it's any of those bigger events, I think, bring a community of people together. And so it's always fun to do those larger scale things when there's a lot of energy and there's a lot of
ribs,
a lot of meat.
There was a tornado one year that we were there too, because I remember we had to go under the Howard Wood Field into those locker area or underneath the like the stadium pieces.
I remember getting a call from Todd Heidkamp from the National Weather Service, and he was like, "We think you need to clear out. There's something that will be coming through in X amount of minutes." And then and once it's through, it'll be clear, like you'll be fine, but it's a fast moving cell. So we really think, so we did. We evacuated the site, told people to either go into the arena or into the Howard Wood Field bathrooms.
Isn't that crazy when you do outdoor events? And all the inclement weather policies and everything else, and you're on the phone every hour with NWS, National Weather Service. And
we're super lucky to have such a in tune to the community weather service that they will proactively call you and say, you know what, you should do this. Like, this is best for the safety of your patrons and for your sanity too. So
it does not happen in bigger communities at all.
It's cool.
Todd Heidkamp. God bless you, Todd Heidkamp.
Shout out Todd Heidkamp.
He's always on not 104.7. With Ben and Patty every now and then. Chiming in with Ben and Patty.
Oh, poor weathermen. They get a real rough go of it.
How'd you get all into this? First of all, you're an SDSUer. Boo.
Go
yay.
Yotes. Go Jacks.
Go Yotes.
Oh, this turned into a very different podcast. Hey, your instructions said wear blue. So it was a welcome invitation. So sorry. Not sorry. So I grew up on a farm near Huron, South Dakota, and always thought I'd go to a big school in a bigger city and kind of do my thing. I always thought I'd, break out of South Dakota. And when it came down to it, SDSU just kind of felt like home. I'd gone to a lot of 4-H camps and journalism camps at SDSU, so that's kind of where I found myself and absolutely loved it. I think in-state schools are really unique for kids that grow up in that 4-H world, because I had some school friends, like high school friends that went to SDSU, but then I also had all these friends from across the state. So I had this really big network of people kind of already built in when I started there. Was a journalism major at SDSU, and then also got involved in the program council at SDSU.
Oh, yeah.
Which is event planning, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what you do. So when I was there, I was Hobo Day Grand Poobah, so in charge of Hobo Day. Gosh. Go Jacks. It's the biggest one-day event in the Dakotas. I don't know if you knew that.
Snap!
I just thought I'd throw that in there real quick. And through that, and then I was the concerts coordinator my senior year, I realized I just had this passion for live music especially. And so found that the best way to kind of marry those two things, that storytelling, 'cause journalism isn't really marketing, but it was really more storytelling, and live music, I thought, well, I want to get into concert promotion is really kind of where I found my spark and excitement. And so I actually moved to Austin, Texas for...
Oh, I had no idea. I did not know that about
you. A month, like a very short amount of time.
Whoa.
And ended up getting an interview up for the marketing director job at the arena, and
it's all happened.
It all happened. So that's kind of how I got into that.
1 month in Austin.
Yeah. Yep. I lived on my cousin was getting her master's degree down at the University of Texas in Austin, and so
Did you physically move everything down?
No.
Okay,
I loaded my Ford Explorer with clothes and necessities and lived in her room and on their couch for a month, kind of figuring things out, and had started applying for jobs and getting a feel for the community. And then this job opened up in Sioux Falls, and I had a wedding to come back for, and
so crazy.
And so I kind of packed my car back up. I was like, I might come back or I might not. And so I kind of hung out for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and got the call that I got the job, so I never went back to Texas.
Isn't that crazy?
My mom loves to say, Abby hated Texas and was homesick. It's very revisionist history, because I loved Austin, and it's a fantastic community, but I just had an opportunity up here that I couldn't.
Your mom.
Couldn't pass up.
Speaking of your mom, Janelle, right?
Yeah, Janelle.
She is so Insta famous, social media famous because of you. She's knows
incredible.
That.
She loves it. She is
it's like the same thing. How people, when they meet my husband, they're like, "Oh, Drew," and he's like, "Who is this person?"
Who?
Like,
I don't know you.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Janelle's super famous.
My mom, she loves it. I mean, I love my mom. She's amazing, and I like to say that the apple didn't fall off the tree with her and I. When I want to know what I'm going to be like at 60-year-old, I just go, oh, right there, Janelle. That's what I'm going to be.
And your dad is
Jer.
Yeah.
Jer. Oh, Jer. He's the best. He's kind of that typical quiet,
so funny
farmer, but just big old heart.
They're all over the social interwebs, though.
Yeah.
You've got them all out there.
People love Jer.
And all your nephews and all that stuff.
They're great. I've got nieces weekend this weekend.
Oh.
So I'm excited. Spend time with the gals.
I love it. How fun for you.
Yeah.
I remember one of my first meetings with you. It was at the... when you were at SMG, we were in this like little meeting, is in one of the rooms off to the side. And we're all sitting around this like square shaped like table area.
Yep.
You were like boss in that meeting. And I was scared for a while. I'm like, we're just a sponsor of this one day and we're just helping promote it and all these different things. And I was truly scared because I'm like, this girl's got her stuff together.
Yeah.
You ran a tight ship, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think, I was really fortunate when I was at the arena that I had a team of people that really could, and had a lot of experience and
Sure.
history with the event and knew how to run certain things. So when it came to my part of things, I could really focus on those,
Yeah,
which I think
good
is
for you.
the secret to any good team, right? Is building people that have that experience. Right. And so, yeah, it was a pretty well-oiled machine. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was always a hiccup here or there, but as an event planner, like you plan as much as you can because you know that on the day of, there's going to be an, oh, by the way, there's going to be something you didn't anticipate and that you didn't think of. So the more you can plan ahead and be ready to go, then you can deal with those things a lot better on the day of. So what was after? Then you went. So I was pretty burnt out at the arena, to be totally honest.
That's how it is. I mean, our world is very, it's very high stress. You're dealing with multiple people, multiple day. Some have multiple personality. There's like all these different things.
You never know what the next day is going to bring.
No. And people have I always, when I talk to students or whoever, I always say event planning is one of the top 10 most stressful jobs. HuffPost, USA Today, everybody does that list at the beginning of the year. Event planning is always in those top 10 most stressful jobs because of that. And it's not an 8 to 5er at all.
Nope.
That's why we do not work Fridays because our weeks are nutso.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So I know we just did payroll the other day and we had some people were working 89 hours last week. I mean, it's nuts.
It is insane. And I think somebody at your event that you had this weekend that I was at the gala said this, right? Like events don't just happen that day. Right. That's what so many people think, right? They show up and this event is here and you're like, somebody put this together today. Like, no. Yeah. There has been months and months and months of planning that have gone in to make sure you have a great experience.
Right.
And I think that is something that people don't think about. And people just think about it as a party and a good time and they don't think about the work that goes into it behind it.
Just doing Ribfest. You were doing a lot of other things. So it was time to take a break.
Yep. So I had a good friend whose husband had some medical news that came in and it kind of made me like stop and think and be like, I'm pretty burnt out here. I'm not enjoying the work that I'm doing anymore. So I just quit and didn't have anything else lined up. Like just was like,
good
you know
for
what?
You. Be bold.
Just
do it.
Yeah. I mean, and honestly, if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be where I'm at now.
Right. Exactly.
Like without taking that kind of crazy leap and just like
OMG
going for it. My siblings thought I was bonkers for leaving, but I was in this weird place where like I had a good job that had a good title, but like it kind of had me boxed into this weird place where like I'd apply for jobs and a lot of places would tell me you have too much experience, you're overqualified for the position, or we can't afford you. And I'd be like, try me, like give it a shot. So anyway, so I quit, just did photography for a few months, my portrait photography stuff that I did. This was before a band in South Dakota, and then ended up working in politics for a year and a half. I'd worked on a political campaign right after college and had sworn that I would never get back into politics. But
it's a whole different. We've done political events, and it is a whole different arena, and rightfully so. I mean, it's nonstop, go.
Yep.
I remember doing some events for a candidate where we were doing like 6 events a day, right? You'd be doing breakfast and you do a lunch and then you do a coffee and then you do this, blah, blah, blah. And there are all these events. Like it's not just a one-on-one coffee. You've got 17 people having coffee with you.
Yep.
So it's constituted as an event.
It's intense. And then there's this other whole thing wrapped into it, right? Which is people's hardcore beliefs wrapped into it, right? So it's this whole other level of pressure that goes with politics. So I'm super passionate about public policy and social issues and things like that. But I've learned after my year and a half at a state party that I can't do that political work anymore.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. And then after that, I was with ODA for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I went to MB.
I love it.
Yeah.
And that's where we got to work together again.
Yeah. Super close.
Which was so awesome.
Yeah.
We were able to do Tribute to Women together. And really, you came into that role. Did they even have a marketing director?
No, I was their first marketing director. It had kind of been combined before that. They would split it between development and a couple other people on staff. So, but I was their first dedicated marketing director.
What was that like?
It was exciting. And, I had been looking for jobs, and I was close to working for an ad agency in town. And then this opportunity came up as well. And when I was stepping back, I was like, the thought of being able to create something from the ground floor was really, really exciting to me. Being able to help establish a brand, help start telling those stories, helping figure out what that brand story was super exciting to me. And to be able to show a lot of growth and a lot of change. And I remember looking at that website when I first came, and I was like, I can't wait to get my hands on this website.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was exciting. It was really fun. So,
and I will say that I think MB did a good job, I think, prior to you being there, of sharing the story, but not a great job, right? Or sharing all that it could have been.
Yeah.
Because there were certain brochures and pamphlets, but they were so outdated, or it was the same message over and over, and there wasn't any depth to it. So when you came on, even you and I, when we worked together side by side on just one event, I mean, it was just so refreshing because you got it, right?
Yeah.
Like there wasn't any explanation about this or why we should be doing this. It was just, you just rolled and go,
Well, and I think too, anytime you have an organization that's that big and does that many things, they've got 42 programs that provide amazing services in our community. And when you don't have one person dedicated to telling those stories and to elevating all of them, it gets hard to. I mean, and it was even a challenge when I was there to be able to lift everything up and give everything its equal time and attention, because there's so much going on.
Well, and you get so busy in the day-to-day, not you personally, but people get busy in their day-to-day, and they're just really trying to make it and get these programs to be as successful and to get the people in there, get the volunteers and blah, 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 that they forget like the behind the mission, like what's the mission? Why are we all here? And the behind the scenes stories.
Yeah.
And you were able to do that, whether it was Giving Day or any of those pieces, good for you.
I loved it. It was great.
Now, what I love about where you're at now at Stockyards Ag Experience is your whole pictures kind of come full circle, which is so cool. And it kind of gives me goosebumps thinking about it with your ag background. And now you're here as the executive director leading up this organization. Talk to us a little bit about what that looks like. And I only know little bits of it from the South Dakota Cattlemen. So I only know little bits that Brian Gilbert, God bless him.
He's amazing.
He's one of my favorite people ever.
So great.
Just talk to us a little bit
about
what
from the neighborhood. I'm from Huron. He's from Hitchcock. We're we're practically neighbors when it comes to rural South Dakota.
He is killer. He's so good at what he does.
So, so I had been serving on the Stockyards Ag Experience Marketing Committee for about 6 months. So I'd gotten to know Jen Hazing, who was their executive director when the project started, and had been on the marketing committee, kind of giving them ideas of what they could do, because they're kind of in this, growth situation. And I remember walking into her office one day and going, oh my gosh, I love that painting that's on your wall. And it was of Hereford cows, which is the kind of cattle my family raises. And I was like, how do I get that painting? And she was like, well, I think it comes with the job. And I was like, well, I guess I'll have to take that job someday. And then I did.
So funny.
So Jen actually came to MB, joined the team at MB as the chief development officer.
So crazy.
And so when I heard she was coming over, and I kind of knew that I was ready for that next step. Like I love marketing, and I've spent 14 years of my career in marketing, but I was ready for something else, something bigger picture. And so when I heard she was coming to MB, I reached out to one of their board members and said, hey, what are you looking for?
Does it come with this picture on the wall?
Can I have that painting? Thanks.
I love it.
All for artwork. I do it all for the artwork.
I love it.
And so we started having a conversation about what they were looking for, and it just seemed like the perfect fit. And so it kind of just all
good for you.
Happened really quickly. And so, the Stockyards Ag Experience is a nonprofit that seeks to connect people with agriculture. So, and that can look different, a lot of different ways. Right now, we have our museum, and we have 2 exhibits in the museum. We have the history of the Stockyards, which was here for 92 years, and which a lot of people don't know. the Stockyards is really what built Sioux Falls. It was really that first big economic driver that existed in this community.
Interesting.
The first paved road in Minnehaha County was paved to lead to the Stockyards.
Interesting.
The first bridge built in Minnehaha County was built so transportation could get to the Stockyards.
Wow.
I mean, it truly is the bedrock of this community. You know, before there was big healthcare and big banking, the Stockyards was that economic driver. And for the region, too. I mean, it pulled from, you know, my mom has been down, Janelle has been down to the barn now since I've been there. And when she came in the barn the first time, she's like, oh, yeah, I used to ride with your grandpa down to the Stockyards all the time. And they were from Chamberlain.
Wow.
So they're from, 2 hours away. So it really was a regional draw. So we've got that 92-year history exhibit upstairs. And then in the lower level is our interactive farm-to-table experience, which really shares that story of modern farming and helps people learn that, your jug of milk comes from a cow before it goes to the grocery store. We just had a group of kids in last week, and we asked them as they were leaving, like, what did you learn today? And they're like, I didn't know that my milk didn't just come from the grocery store.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So that's what exists now, and it's a wonderful little museum. We just went to free admission, so we've just seen a ton of families.
The facility is beautiful.
They did such an incredible job putting it together. Yeah. We worked with Paulson Marketing on putting it together, and they just did a beautiful job of creating that space. And then what I'm really excited about, and that's really going to be our game changer for our organization, is our outdoor plaza that we're working on building. Yeah. We are so pumped about it. I just saw some new plans. Some updated renderings for what that's going to look like. Our goal is to break ground this fall, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be so cool. A 3.7-acre park that's going to be kitty corner from Falls Park, and kind of continue that farm-to-table experience and let people know what it's like to be on the farm and see some of those inner workings and be able to have an ag experience right here in our community. Awesome. Yeah.
And so for those of you that are listening or watching and aren't familiar with where it's at, it's out by Falls Park.
Yep.
In the barn.
Yep.
What is it called? Just the
barn? They call it the horse barn.
The horse barn.
Is what a lot
of
people call it, because it used to be used for the fleet of horses that the city had before there were cars. That's where they kept.
I had no idea.
That's where they kept those horses. Nobody really knows when the barn was built, but probably somewhere between 1860 and 1880, somewhere in there.
And you can get in on the lower level, right in the parking lot there, right?
Yep. Well, our front entrance is up on the second level, but. Okay. You can ring the doorbell and we'll come and let you in. But you're supposed to enter from upstairs.
Okay, well that's the only place where I've entered. So thank you to Jennifer for
letting
me in on the lower level. Gosh, but it's so cool. I love this space because not only the museum part on that second level, but do you call that second or is that main?
We call it upper and lower because it's not like a basement because there's a door to the outside. So yeah, I call it upper and lower.
Huh.
What would you call it?
I don't know. I call it the second level, which would be upper.
But if you come in that way.
See, I've only come in through the main level.
I was going to say, I would call that
if
you would come in the right door.
Yeah, which I
then it would be the first level.
Whatever
upper
level.
And lower.
The museum part on the upper level is so cool because the pictorials and all the different pieces. I mean, it's so awesome.
It is. It's great. There's so much history, I think. Yeah. And the oral history piece of it is really great, too. There's 5 interactive screens through the space where you can listen to former mayors and former people that have worked at Morels and people that have worked in the Stockyards give personal, testimonies of what happened down there and what that history was like. So they did just an amazing job putting it all together. So
and that lower level or Addie's main level, whichever direction that you're coming in.
We'll call it Addie's level now. That's what we're going to rebrand it.
Main level, Addie. That is super interactive because you've got the grocery store, you've got the fridge thing there, you've got, right? Because they can pick up different things. I mean, it's so cool down there.
Yeah, so we've got, 360 videos that kids can check out to see what things are like in a feedlot or at a hog operation or a dairy facility. And then we've got our grocery store where you can pick up any kind of fruit and vegetable or meat or dairy product or canned good. And then we've got a little scanner that you can scan and every single piece of food that we have
so cool
in the grocery store tells you a fact about your food and helps you, learn more and appreciate that food. So we've got our big truck. Our big blue truck with our auger.
Oh, yeah. I forgot,
so kids love to take a picture in there. So,
are there scheduled visits? Like if I want to bring a group in, do I need to schedule that?
We ask for groups to schedule it because, we love to do like a little activity with groups of kids instead of just doing a free for all. Just because it can get chaotic. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ribfest 17.0.
My office is right above the kitchen, and I can hear everything that happens. So I'm always like, what kind of disarray is the kitchen going to be in when we go down to clean up after this group? But with group tours, we have some extra programming that we can give them.
That's awesome.
We have a little book that we can read depending on the age group, right? Yeah. This is what a day on the farm is like, and we can, tell them about what farmers do, and we can explain things in a little more robust way than just them playing in that space. But playing in that space is great too, right? Getting their hands on things, getting to experience that thing.
I was in awe the first time I saw it.
Yeah, it's so well done. So
what did Jer and Janelle think when you told them about this?
They were really excited. Yeah. I mean, my dad, like I said, super quiet farmer. I remember we sent out a press release that this was happening, this change. And we sent it out to some egg publications in the region. And it was I forget, maybe it was in my hometown newspaper, in the Daily Plainsman in Huron. And I remember my dad doing a Snapchat.
Oh.
Because that's what we do in my family. We have a group Snapchat. So even my 70-year-old father is on the old Snapchat.
That's so crazy.
He snapped a picture of the article and said something about, so proud of my daughter or something. And I was like,
that's so awesome.
Jer. Oh, Jer. So it's been really fun to be back in that community, because I really think the agriculture industry in our state really is a community. Being at the gala.
Yeah, it for sure
so
is.
funny at the gala the other night. I was there, and everybody's all dressed up, and at this fancy party, and I'd see somebody, and I'd be like, I know that person. How do I know that person? And it'd always take me a couple seconds for it to click, because I'm so used to seeing so many of those people in
overalls,
barn clothes at the state fair, covered in dirt with a ponytail and a baseball cap on. I was like, oh, girl, you clean up good.
That's so funny.
It happened 3 or 4 times where I'm like, where? Oh yeah,
Isn't that funny?
Oh yeah, it was great. So, it was really fun. But yeah, they've been really excited, and learning that personal history of my mom coming down with her dad, and I also took a Snapchat in my new office, and there's some wood paneling in not paneling, it's the wood, it's the actual wood of the barn, right? And my dad goes, your office looks a little crude, and I'm like, oh, Jer. Oh, that's fine. I'm like, there are other walls that are drywall, and look at this cool painting. He's like, okay, it's pretty nice.
So the painting is still there.
Painting is still there.
That's awesome.
It's the background of all my selfies in the barn now.
Aw, don't you love it?
Yeah, it's great. It's so much fun.
What I love about it is you kind of are like this Miss Sioux Falls gal. I think people resonate with you so closely because your passion for the community.
Yeah.
So not only the ag piece of it, but now this experience piece, it's truly come full circle.
Yeah. When I was, thinking about the job and considering it, and I was so excited because I love downtown Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Sioux Falls, but downtown Sioux Falls, I bought my house in the All Saints neighborhood because I wanted to be close to Sioux Falls. My last 4 jobs have been officed in downtown.
We hang out downtown. It's just, it's such a great, vibrant place. And it's a community within I always say the same thing. Yeah.
Sioux Falls as well. And so when I thought about an opportunity where I could work in downtown Sioux Falls and help build something really cool in downtown Sioux Falls and be involved in the agriculture community, it just felt like the perfect fit. I was so excited about it. So it's been amazing.
What's your favorite part about Sioux Falls?
My favorite part about Sioux Falls? That's a good question. I think it's the community.
Yeah.
I moved to Sioux Falls about 15 years ago, and to see how much it's grown and how much people love this community, I think is amazing. And how much we're willing to try new things.
Yeah, I agree.
And, do the new thing. And if it doesn't work, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's try the next thing.
We are super tight-knit.
And
especially
we're
this
supportive.
Yeah. I agree.
Somebody's throwing an event for the first time, people show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You and I have had a lot of fun times downtown. Carpenter Bar, other bar, Copper.
Copper Lounge.
I miss Copper
so much. My drinking habit really changed drastically when the Copper lounge closed.
You, Brady Mallory, I think probably Kevin King, Matt Neufeld, all of us just hanging down in that space.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Copper Lounge and Little Coalinga. Those were like, Copper Lounge was like when I was feeling classy, and Little Coalinga when I was just wanted the best cheeseburger and a beer as big as your head. Oh man, yeah. I loved both those places, so yeah. I miss them.
Makes me sad, but
you know,
I know there's other good spots.
There's new spaces now. So
before I let you go,
yeah.
First of all, I'm so proud of you, and I'm excited for this next new journey. It's so cool, and I love seeing you in this leadership role because we don't have enough really awesome, kick-ass female leaders in this community. Yeah. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Fist bump.
Fist bump.
Get that on their name.
I have to tell you this. So my favorite TV show in the world is Parks and Rec.
Do you know? I know you know. I knew that I knew that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I was trying to even say there, but I have not seen a single episode of Parks and Rec.
Is my favorite. I mean, I love Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
In a deep and real way. But Parks and Rec is like it's my safe place. Like I have rewatched that show a lot. But I remember early on in this job, I was maybe 3 weeks in, and we were having a meeting with the team at Confluence, who is designing our park. Jen Jacobson, who's there, is on our board. And we were having this brainstorming meeting about, what do we want this park to look like? Like, what interactive exhibits do we want to have? What are those cool things that kids get to do on the farm? How can we make it safe? There's that piece of it. And we're talking about it. And I remember leaving that meeting and driving by the lot that we have where the park is going to go, which sits there just south of Smithfield and Kitty Corner from Falls Park. And I drove by it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my lot 48, which is like the main plot point of Parks and Rec is that Leslie Knope builds a park from scratch. And I teared up.
Oh, like, Abby.
I am living the plot of my favorite TV show. So,
oh gosh,
yeah,
that's so
I'm
funny.
real excited about that. So, anyway, watch Parks and Rec. It's good. It's strong females.
I just have not, and I just started watching at the lake house Seinfeld. I had never watched any Seinfeld, so now I'm, the other day, but we watched 24 hours of straight Seinfeld was on the TV, sleeping or not.
My
but
goodness.
Yeah. Drew loves, he just rewatched all of Dexter again.
Oh, that's a dark one to rewatch,
He loves Dexter. I've rewatched Parenthood multiple times.
I mean, I've rewatched Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of Friday Night Lights.
But I've rewatched Parks and Rec.
A lot?
10 times, probably.
Lord.
Well, like in my
How many years is that?
Not
like of your life, but I mean of the show.
A lot.
Of the show.
It's a 7-season show.
Yikes.
But its seasons are all there's no season that's like over 15 or 17 episodes. So it's not like like Friends was you look back at sitcoms in the 90s and they were every week 22 to 24 episodes a season.
Yeah.
I rewatched Friends a couple years ago cuz I just don't have as much fondness for it as I feel like so many other people my age. And I rewatched it all, and about halfway through I was like, I don't like this, but I'm a finisher, so I finished it. But that was an investment because that was like 10 or 12 seasons.
Yeah.
24 episodes a season. Anyway, so Parks is amazing. But I watch it when I edit photos, during my busy time in the fall.
Just on.
So I just, have it on so it's more like I listen to it, but I love it. One of my nephews, two of my nephews now have started watching it.
That's funny.
My nephew Cooper, who's going to be 10, or he just turned 10, he's watched it 4 times.
Weird.
And he can quote it with me. It's my favorite thing in the world. At Thanksgiving this year, he was like, I go, Cooper, I'm so excited. Like, I've been waiting years for somebody in the family to watch Parks and Rec so I can talk to him about it. And he goes, well, it went off the air in 2015 and this is 2018. So you've been waiting 3 years for it. I was like, oh my God, I love you so much.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay,
so,
maybe
anyway.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay,
ready? So I want to hear the first thing that pops in your head.
Okay.
When I ask you these questions. I'm not going in order because I know you peeked at them. So I'm not going in order. So hopefully I can keep track of where we're at.
Keep me on my toes.
Would you rather speak every language in the world or talk to animals?
Oh, I'd rather talk to animals.
Uh-huh. What's your favorite book that you've read recently?
Favorite book that I've read recently? I just finished on audiobook Daring Greatly by Brene Brown.
Oh, yeah. I like Brene Brown.
Which she's phenomenal, but
I like her spicy tongue every now and then.
Yeah, I know that. I think that's what grounds it and makes it realistic. So, I mean, shame, vulnerability, all that jazz.
Have you watched Wine Country yet, that movie?
Yeah.
She's in that.
She's in that. And I'm like, I get that in a real way. So, Daring Greatly, I feel like I'm way behind on that, but that was great. But I'm not great at leadership, like workbooks. I'm way better at fiction. Like I read those really slow. So, but audio, this was the first time I listened to a book on.
I have tried to do books on tape, books on audio, whatever the heck Audible. I can't. I fall asleep or I like get distracted. Like I'll do laundry and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I have to rewind the whole last things because I get distracted.
I think I would be the same way, but I've been really conditioned to pay attention because I listen to so many podcasts.
Yeah.
So I just finished Daring Greatly and then I also just finished Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered, which is the memoir of Georgia Hardstark and Karen Kilgariff, the hosts of My Favorite Murder.
Interesting.
My favorite podcast.
How come we're not your favorite podcast?
Yet. When that
touche, Abby Bischoff. Okay. What does your dream day look like?
Ooh, dream day. I would wake up at my parents' farm and watch the sunrise because I love a sunrise on the farm. I'd have coffee on the porch with my mom and dad, hug my nieces and nephews, come to downtown Sioux Falls and eat somewhere really great on a patio and have a couple drinks. And then end the day with some live music.
That sounds like a good day.
Yeah.
That's what I did last week.
Maybe a nap. Get a nap in there.
As I get older, I love naps.
I have a favorite nap of the year is what I call it, which is usually like a springtime nap when it's warm enough you can have the window open, but still cool enough that there's a nice little breeze coming in. Yeah. Motorcycles aren't out yet, so it's not too loud.
Yeah.
And just a nice little I love naps. 45-minute nap on the couch.
Love them. One thing on your bucket list. What's one thing?
I would love to go to Germany, which is where my family's from. So I love to travel. So that's on there.
What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
I tell you what, I just had the poached rhubarb and oatmeal cookie ice cream at Queen City Bakery. And it was mind-blowing.
Wow.
But otherwise, like just regular mint chocolate chip or like a mint Oreo cookie.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
If you could be any animal, what would it be?
Squirrel.
I already knew that. I knew you were going to say that. Is that an Ashley Thompson, back to Ashley Thompson thing, or did you love squirrels before Ashley Thompson?
I love squirrels before Ashley Thompson.
She has dresses. This girl's got dresses with...
Yeah, with squirrels, with dinosaurs. I know, when I got the instructions about like no busy patterns, and I'm like, Addie, I got to be me. So that's why I've got big earrings in. But yeah, squirrels, they're sassy.
Yeah.
I mean... I try and tame the squirrels in my backyard.
Plus,
and
they're
they
edgy.
Will sit,
They're like, go in front of the traffic. Nope, go.
Yep.
Nope, go. Mm-hmm. They're super edgy.
Yeah. They get all fluffy and cute in the winter, just like me.
Sexy tails. Sexy tails. That's like your hair.
Squirrel, for sure.
Gosh. If you were not involved in the career that you are now, which I know you absolutely love because it marries a lot of things that you're so good at, but what would you be doing? You can't say photography either because you kind of do that.
I would be writing for a TV show.
Oh, cool.
Brady Mallory and I have always talked about how we're going to write a sitcom someday.
That'd be awesome. That would be
We're
awesome.
probably going to make ourselves the main character.
Naturally.
Because I think like typically people like us would be in the sidekick role, but we're like, no, we're going to flip the script. We're going to be the main characters.
I love it. That's so funny.
So.
Oh my gosh. See, I went out of order now. I cannot remember if I'm at where I'm supposed to be at. Dang you.
I know my answers have just been so...
What's your favorite emoji?
Probably the awkward teeth face one, like.
Is that with the zipper one or no?
No zipper, just like the teeth that are like this. It's kind of like.
Look at, we both go.
I know.
For those that are just listening,
I
they're
feel like it should have this one to it, like. I mean, that's what you get for being 36 and single. There's a lot of awkward moments in my life.
So funny.
Like this one.
Last one.
Okay.
I think I'm in order. At which store would you max out a credit card?
ModCloth.
Oh, yeah.
It's my jam.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You still do all those, huh?
Quirky prints.
Oh.
Cute stuff. Bold colors, bold prints. Mm-hmm. Good accessories. Local, because I want to give a shout out to local. Man.
You know what I would say for local? Queen City Bakery.
Oh, I know, right? Oh, my gosh.
We do this thing. We've got this little thing we do with some of our clients that Mitch makes us cakes for them.
Mm-hmm.
They are the most amazing. We had to buy one the other day. I mean, we love their cakes anyway.
Yep.
So dang good. Drew and I actually got in a fight over how to cut that cake.
Their carrot cake is next level. And
Brooklyn Blackout all the way. And lemon.
I don't love cake. I know this is hot take here. I'm a pie person.
Ooh, I see. I do not like pie.
Pie is my favorite dessert.
I cannot even make a pie. I will tell you, I've never made a real pie crust unless you roll it out of a tube.
Nope, that's fake pie.
I
call that fake pie crust.
I know. I don't know how to make crust.
One time I came home for Easter and there was fake pie crust in the fridge.
And you just know.
Turned to my mom and I go, "Are you trying to ruin Easter?" And the Easter bunny left pie crust in my Easter basket that morning.
That is so funny.
My mom makes amazing pie. I'll bring you one of Janelle's strawberry pies sometime. They are amazing.
I cannot do crust. I can bake anything. I come from a baker. My mom owned bakeries. I cannot do a crust.
Oh, I whipped one up the other night.
What else?
I love pie. Anyway, so I don't love cake, but I love carrot cake. And Queen City does their seasonal flavor. Yeah. And carrot cake is August, and August is my birthday.
Yeah.
So I think Mitch and Christine did it for me. I mean, I think they probably had that set before we really knew each other that well, but I'm going to say it's for me.
So funny. Is there raisins in it?
No.
Nuts?
Mm-mm. There's nuts, yes. Okay. No raisins. Don't put raisins in a carrot cake. It's not a raisin cake.
I love raisins in cake. But I do not like oatmeal raisin cookies at all.
Well, it's because it's a disappointing chocolate chip, let's be honest.
True.
That's what they called me in high school.
She'll be around later, ladies and gentlemen. My gosh. Well, thank you for joining us.
This was so much fun.
So fun. I can't wait for our next little project.
Yeah.
Cake eating, cookie eating,
our
pie
new
eating.
Our new podcast.
The Addie and Abby Show.
The Addie and Abby Show. We'll figure out who goes first.
Oh, have a good day.
You too.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of The Good Work, and a special thank you to Abby for joining us and sharing her story and a little behind the scenes of her favorite love of squirrels. You won't want to miss next week's episode as we celebrate The Good Work's first birthday. Don't forget to subscribe to The Good Work on YouTube and iTunes and follow the event company on social media to stay up to date on the good work that we are part of each day.